What is up, guys? We're back with another video. In this video I'm going to be discussing and pretty much quickly going over everything we've got for Splatoon 4.2.0 update. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I have not been playing Splatoon like very much at all lately. So I don't know, take it with a grain of salt. Probably like nobody gives a shit what I think anyways, but I just want to go over it. I've covered like most of the other patches, so I really didn't want to miss this one either. There's some substantial stuff in here I'd like to discuss, so if you guys want me to continue bringing these videos to you guys, please leave a like, and if you are new, subscribe if you guys want more Splatoon or anything like Paladins or whatever content. There's a bunch of different changes, pretty much like you can go into your squid form a little bit quicker, like 4/60ths of a second quicker. Is it really going to matter how quick you go into a squid form by 4/60ths of a second and all these other 3/60ths of a second? I'm not really even going to discuss this because I'm not quite sure how this is even going to matter. The only way I can really even tell that if it's going to matter if it's as long as I play it in game. That's the only way you're going to know if this even matters. Whatever. I think the most substantial thing here. Yeah, right here, this doesn't matter really much. 96 gal deco still, it's better than the 52 gal, but it still sucks. With all the recent buffs, that made it better than the 52 gal at least. Still so inaccurate. I think the only thing I'm gonna start at the L3 nozzle nose. I think this is a weapon I kind of really want to pick up just because of all the buffs it's been getting. I heard it's been really good, along with the H3 nozzle nose. The H3 nozzle nose is one of the best like support, along with like the NZOP 89 or 85, whatever that one is with the ink armor. It's cool to show you I've not been playing the game very much. I used to know all the weapons, and then now I'm mistaking weapons with each other. L3 nozzle nose made it easier to ink the ground at players' feet, which is great. Increased the damage dealt to opponent's umbrella by roughly 13%, which is great because umbrellas have been going on the rise. It's kind of like I said, it's a couple videos back. It's dual leads blaster umbrella meta right now. I think it's still that way. Increased damage dealt to Rainmaker barrier by roughly 5%, so the Rainmaker barrier will pop a little bit faster for using an L3 or L3D. I still think these are two good sets. I think one of them has Baller. I think one of them has Burst Bomb and Inkjet. Now, don't quote me on that. I haven't played L3 in a long time, but I'm definitely going to be picking up later. I do plan on being on Splatoon a little bit later as well after this video goes up, so if you do have me added, hop on. I'll be doing some turf war, testing out some new stuff. I probably won't even be using any of the new weapons because they just don't interest me whatsoever. I think the only one I might even try is probably like the L3, the Kenza L3. I'm sure turf war is going to have nothing but the new weapons, so that's usually how it is for like the first 3 days. And I guarantee you all the weapons, I guess, apart from like the L3 and maybe the brush, are going to be irrelevant. There's going to be no reason to use them. I guess maybe the splatter shot, the custom splatter shot, or the Kansas splatter shot, whatever you call it. You may say that once in a while, but after like the first 2 days after these weapons get released, most of them you won't be seeing ever again, or very rarely, depending on how the new sub and the new special is. We got the carbon roller deco and the carbon rollers. Horizontal swing now, ink more area in front of you. Okay. Extended the area inked by flinging ink with ink brushes further forward. Ink brush, this is could do absolute jack shit with ink brush. Ink brush is still one of the worst weapons in the game. The only use it has is maybe Clam Blitz. That's about it. Octobrush, reduce the interval swinging the brush and holding ZR, whatever. Change the weapon type to one in which running speed when not firing and swim speed is fast as the splatter shot and splash-o-matic, so you're going to be able to swim a little bit faster and run a little bit quicker. Okay. Don't know how it's really going to help the Tri-Slosher. Maybe you can get around a little bit quicker. A sloshing machine. I do expect a bit of a rise in sloshing machine because I think their reps are going to be really good right now. Increase the radius of area inked because they're going to be able to ink a little bit more. I think the trouble you have with the sloshing machine doesn't ink really as good as a lot of other buckets. So the sub weapons here is what I really wanted to go over, mainly the beef of the video per se. Toxic Mist, I think this is a very cool addition to Toxic Mist. I think it's something that it will benefit the blaster, the normal vanilla blaster. Added effect that greatly increases the ink consumed for an opponent using a dually type weapon and performing a dodge roll while inside toxic mist. So you'll be using a shitload of ink if you're trying to dodge roll inside of a mist cloud. That really benefits weapons that have the toxic mist. I think the Shout Squelcher has that as well. That's a support weapon. The blaster. This is really going to benefit the blaster. Help 1v1s with dualies a lot more. So I don't know. I can't tell you guys how much it's going to benefit the blaster, which I'm greatly appreciative of. Glad they made that change. Point sensor, increase the initial speed by roughly 10% and an extended flight length. So that's cool. You can throw it a little bit quicker and a little bit farther. Huge buff to tracking weapons like I think the 52 gal or the 52 gal Deco has that, and I think the dually squelchers. So a little bit of a buff to those weapons makes them a little bit better. Squid Beacon with a huge buff. Each Squid Beacon can now be used twice when used by an ally who does not have a Squid Beacon equipped. So if they don't have a Squid Beacon on their current sets, if they're not using like a Dapple Dualies, for example, which has Squid Beacon, or like an E-Leader that has Squid Beacon, you can use, and if they don't have it on their set, they can use it twice. So you can use one Squid Beacon twice. So that's kind of cool. It makes the Squid Beacon a lot more useful. You're going to be seeing a lot of rise in Squid Beacon just because of this buff. It makes it insanely better. You can now see how many times it can be used by checking the circle number displayed when you look at the Squid Beacon on the Turf War map. So you pull up your map and it'll have a number on top of the Squid Beacon. Very helpful. I see Squid Beacon having a huge rise, especially with the Dapple Dualies. That's going to be a lot better. You run some sub-weapon, I think sub-weapon proficiency with that, and you're going to be having a lot of Squid Beacon jumpers, especially if you use them twice. So. We have some different changes for these specials. Not really going to go over many of these, only the ones that are pretty relevant. The Custom Splattershot Junior. I don't know why they're giving this thing a buff. It's probably the best painting weapon in the game, or one of the best painting weapons in the game. I don't think this is going to matter whatsoever. Even if they would have left it at 180, it doesn't matter. I think this is the one with the Rain Cloud and Splat Bomb. Don't quote me on that. I know one of them has ink armor and as well. I'm not quite sure if why they're giving it a buff. But again, it's not going to matter anyways. It's going to make it even get more specials. You have to run less special power up. You don't have to run any ink saver. You don't have to run anything like that because it's so great on ink, especially with the increased ink tank. The L3 Nozzle Nose, like I was saying, the L3 Nozzle Nose got a very good buff in this patch. This patch is really good for the L3 Nozzle Nose. That's why I plan on trying it out later again. 180 down to 170. I'm not quite sure if it's the one with Baller, but I think if it's either Baller or Inkjet as the special. Either way, it's great. Flings a Roller, I don't know how that really matters. Down to 180. I don't see any Flings or Rollers anywhere. I think one of them has Bomb Rush and one of them has something else. I don't know what it is. That just goes to show you how much you really even use those or see those play. The Zinc Mini Splatling gets a buff down to 180 again. Not really going to do anything for the weapon. It's still not really that good. Tensorella Brella gets a bit of a buff. I mean, it could be decent if you know how to play the weapon. The H3 Nozzle Nose D, probably the best nozzle nose in the game right now as a support, along with the NZAP 85. 190 up to 200. I don't think it's really going to do too much for the weapon, honestly. It's not really that big of a nerf. I think it'll survive. Probably the only thing I really disagree with is the chargers. These last two patches of the chargers have gotten pretty nerfed with the special charge. They were 190, then they were raised to 200, now it's 210. I'm not quite sure how I feel about this. Just gonna have to wait and see. I kind of quit playing chargers a long time ago, just because I found out how I can play that I'm a natural blaster main. So I pretty much gave up the chargers. Long story. And the Tent Brella, 180 to 190. It's kind of more of a support. I think it's the one with the ink cloud and the sprinkler. So I don't know how it really matters. The sprinkler's still going to be giving you a shitload of ink coverage anyways. So you'll still be able to get your special. If you want more, you can just run special power up. And there's a bunch of bug fixes I'm not even going to bother covering. Like I said, I do apologize for the lack of Splatoon content. I just have not been playing the game too much, guys. I have over almost 1,050 hours in the game, and it's at the point where they can release all these other weapons, but I can pick up like any blaster in the game, no matter what kind of blaster it is. I can play it to great success. And having over 1,000 hours in the game, I can pretty much pick up any other weapon. Apart from like shitty weapons like the Foil Squeezer or like the Dynamo Roller, shit that just sucks, like a 52 gal. Any weapon that's decent, like a splatter shot or NZAP or whatever, I can pretty much play any weapon in the game to decent success. There's not really anything that's like promoting me to like go into the game and legit try to learn weapons. I have like gear upon gear that can fit like pretty much all the weapons I play. Every blaster I have a specific gear that pretty much works for them at this point. There's not really much for me else to do in the game, guys. I do apologize for the lack of Splatoon content, whatever. I'll still be bringing it once in a while if they add some more stuff. They also have new weapons, like I said. I'm not going to go over those in this video. And they added a new salmon run track, and they reworked the Reef tracks, so, or the map. I guess they're maps, not tracks. But yeah, I'm going to probably be bringing more Paladins content on the channel, so if you really don't want that, just, still stay stubbed. But you just don't have to watch it if you don't want it, I guess. But I recommend you do, because it's a great game. That's why I've been putting all my hours into Paladins. It's so fun. Yeah, not much else to really go over. Probably gonna be, I don't know if I'll be uploading anything else in the near future. Yeah, but if you guys enjoyed, drop a like. If you're new, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in a future video.